Hello, welcome back to my Let's Play of Morrowind. I don't know why in my head I keep trying to name what episode we're on. I think it's 36. But we are at Bookmouth, Legion Force, and we're here for our quest. I need to speak to someone here. Spymaster. Racer Pullier. Hello, Racer. I'm Racer Pullier, champion of the Legion garrison here at Bookmouth Legion Fort, and you're Marabou. Chaos Crusaders sent to you, didn't he? Chaos says you're the one to handle the 6th house base near Narmok. Only one trooper returned. He died soon after, horribly disfigured with corpus disease and out of his wits. In his ravings, he spoke of a cavern on the coast. He called it Ilunibi. It's not one on our maps. Try asking the locals at Narmok. They fought with the cultists and the Diffigus Man-Beast Corpus monsters, I think. They fled the attacks and got lost in the caves. They ran into a half-man creature named Dagoth Gers. This Dagoth Gers slew the rest of his patrol but spared the one trooper. He told the trooper he was being spared so he might tell others that the sleeper awakes and the 6th house has risen, and Dagoth is Lord and I am his priest, and all will be one with him in the flesh. The trooper awakened outside the caves and returned here. We couldn't recognize him, and he didn't respond to questions. He just kept rambling on like a madman until he died. I mean, he sounds like a madman, but then he gives like a pretty good account of what actually happened. But that's by the by. Corpus disease. I've heard of this corpus disease before, but never seen it. The trooper's flesh was swollen and covered with growths. His bones twisted and lost their shape. He spoke to himself as if in a dream. We didn't recognise him at first, except for his clothing and armour. The fort chaplain tried spells and potions, but couldn't cure the disease. He died soon after he reached the fort. Didn't realise how fast Corpus kills. It sure wasn't pretty. The troops seemed shaken. I'm a little worried myself, to tell the truth. Ilunibi. That's what the dead trooper called the sea caverns where the 6th house base. It's not on our maps and no one here has heard of it. Maybe the locals are Narmok. Narmok is an island, fishing village. Oh, it's that one. On the Bitter Coast, roughly west of Caldera and Aldrune. Here, let me mark it for you on your map. There's no marked route. Take the Balmora Road. At the Nisus, Balmora, Aldrune side post. I love this. This is great. Go south and immediately west on the side of the Julian Felon's cottage. Cool. Well, we've been there before. But thank you.
Come on.
These aren't the sea caves we went to before, was it? There's not a mark. Oh, it's a nasty journey. Let's just head straight into it, eh? So I'm just trying to get my bearings. Because I ain't following those directions. I'm just going to punch straight across land. I do want to heal up first, though. So, let's get some daylight going as well. Is that going to be daylight? Oh, not if we were interrupted. Come on. There we go. The start of the start of the day seems like a nice time to start off. So, what's changed since, well, yesterday? We were talking about how I'm back at my flat. By the time this video comes out, I will have spent another evening here, but hopefully will be a bit sorted out. The interesting thing when you have a leak is you actually end up having to pretty much empty rooms to save all the items within, which I managed to do in the moment, which was good. But it just meant there's been some getting back to normal sort of time. Actually, yeah, let's go. I was going to take a photo of take a screenshot of that fort so that we could use that as our thing. But yeah, we're getting back in order and we're getting some videos recorded ahead of time and scheduled up. So hopefully, with the work week coming up, we're not going to have too much of an issue. I kind of want to just explore these little things on here. I don't think it's essential, but let's go have a see. So something I found with doing YouTube and going back to work is I always want well, not always, but I even actually since I've been back, even when I first like left work for the first time with the COVID, I what's attacking me? Hello, rat. I wanted a downtime game. It's something I've wanted for a while. Jesus, we are being attacked by a load of them. Yeah, I wanted a downtime game because like a lot of the games I was playing, and even now, like I think about Tarkov and Squad and things like that, which I haven't actually played since I've been back. Um, they're not exactly the easiest, most relaxing games in the world, which is fine. That's not what they're going for. But I want a downtime game, especially with recording and going back to work. I know I've just said that, but it's just helping me get my thoughts in place. And when I first went into COVID, I thought, actually, you know what game's coming out? It's only bloody Animal Crossing. That seems like a good downtime game, you know, finish up... at the time I was streaming, actually, but I've not done that for a while. Maybe we'll get back into it at some point, but I want to see how schedules play out first. But yeah, I sort of wanted a downtime game for after streaming when there's like an hour left in the evening. I'm too tired to read, I'm too tired to do various other things, but I still have some time to do some stuff. So I got Animal Crossing. And actually, I fell off Animal Crossing pretty quickly. I think... I like the routine of it all, but it felt too repetitive too quickly for me. I felt like I was just doing the same thing relatively frequently, and like I think that style of game, sort of like, it's not quite just a farming game, but it's definitely genre adjacent to a farming game, say a Stardew Valley or something. I prefer just to be able to sink my teeth in and like repeat my day as many times as I want, which I know you can do with time skips on Animal Crossing. But then, like, by the time I was at the point where I wanted to do time skips, I was so deep into the game anyway that I was just like, actually, I don't really want to play any more of this. It seems like a really cool game, just not necessarily one for me. I don't think these are wild ones, so oopsie again. We're constantly killing things we shouldn't be. But, so that's led me to, and yeah, like, I was really enjoying Tarkov, but I cannot play that game unless I've got, like, a couple of hours to spare and just want to sink into it, which I know might not be the case for everyone. These enemies seem easy, so I am going to switch to my cheaper arrows as we go along here. But the other aspect of it all is I wanted that sort of loot game, that sort of game where you can relax to and chill to. So I got Path of Exile, and I played a bit of it yesterday. I really like the look of that game. It's got the right amount of depth and stuff, but at the moment, because I'm just learning it, I can just pop a guide in front of me and go, and just like follow it. And that's super fun to be like, okay, here's what's apparently a good build, let's just actually get into it and get through it. And I don't plan on playing loads of that game, but you know, when I'm too tired to do anything else, I'll play that. For a brief period, Mass Effect was actually my downtime game, the Andromeda. But having a week and a half away from it, I'm not particularly thrilled to go back to it. Not that I hate it or anything. I actually was really enjoying my time with it, but there clearly wasn't enough there to, you know, fully pull me in. Yeah, surprisingly, I really like that game. I kind of maybe one that I come back to down the line and do a video on because it failed hard at the time of release. Right, so we need to speak to some people around here, don't we? Narmark, Breeding Netch, that was me. Ilunibi. That's what they call the old sea cave up on the north end of the island, right on Cartag Point. Don't poke around there. It's a convenient smuggler's hole, and they might not welcome visitors. Yes, that's on the western coast, not far from here. It's a gigantic boulder. Some of the orcs consider it a landmark. Why? I don't know. Some orc or another jumped off on a dare. It didn't end well.
What is this about?
Is that enough to get what we need? Yeah. So I think it's time to practice some magic. And do some water walking. You might not even need it. I bet this just goes all the way along. Oh god. We are sucking at alteration right now. Okay, we got there eventually. But yeah, so I played like I find ARPGs like Diablo and Path of Exile like really good for about 15 hours and I fall off them. But I think if my game play style goes to a bit more relaxed, actually I might be able to get more out of it and don't feel like I need to play it as frantically. I can just sort of be like, okay, I'm going to progress this and have a look. But like I think downtime games are a weird concept, especially when I'm playing a lot of different things for a channel. Um, because the aspect of them I find weird is the games are seen as a hobby, and therefore shouldn't all games be downtime games? But I do find some of them, the idea of having to play in a more active style is more common. This place is creepy. I need to get a photo of Narmok. So let's do the classic dungeon thing and follow the left wall. And go around here and see what we can get into. But then I say that, and right now what I want to do is go and play some more Path of Exile. But that's always my initial... Are you bad? What? What use is speech? If you will not submit, you must be destroyed. You have chosen Lord Dagoth. We give you your loss, but we will not spare you. You refuse the sweetness of Lord Dagoth's friendship. Now you must know the bitterness of his fury. He will not come to you, Lord Nerevar. It is you who must beg forgiveness. Go to him beneath Red Mountain, kneel before him, and he will show you mercy. Oh! This is a whole thing then. And we are seemingly not hitting anything either. Is it time to move over to our better weapon? I really want to know what's going on here. Because they're like faces. Is that a distortion or is it a mask that they're choosing to wear? These poorer arrows are definitely showing their value. Sort of like Tarkov, where the ammo you put in the gun matters more than the gun itself. Or so I'm told. Let's continue on with this bow. And switch to a fireball. And see what else is going on in here. Because we're meant to be killing one of them, aren't we? I am also going to save. Yeah, I don't particularly get into grindy games that often. But weirdly, like the one I did get into was Diablo 2. And it is something I want to go back and play. And I don't know how much I got into it. I was thinking about this whilst I was playing Path of Exile, because I was like, oh, I'm super looking forward to grind and like do some leveling and see what happens. Oh, this is real bad. But actually, I'm not sure how much of it in the past I actually did. Let's load that save. We're gonna die here. It's nice to fight something a bit higher level. We might actually have to think about what we're doing here instead of just rushing in. So let's switch to the good arrows. Let's not worry about leveling up our skills too much, and then let's rest until healed. And do a bit of stealth on the way. So this guy over here, we want to take him out first. We did a big old hit on him there. So perhaps it was just our method that was making it too hard. So there was an action arch up here, wasn't there? Can we kill him with this? Yeah, no. So I want to swap to... I think the what's called bow we got earlier. And we can start getting some damage in on this guy from afar. But yeah, I was thinking, because like Diablo 2 was probably actually a formative game for me, because I played it when I was sort of 10, 11, 12, that sort of age, and played it online and did do a lot of grinding. I remember stopping around my friend's house and doing like, I think it was the first boss, Andy, Anderol. Andy, I think, was the in-game nickname for her, and used to just run it for, because she had a higher chance of dropping rings and amulets that were rare, and so you'd run it on like a certain difficulty. I don't know how true any of this is. This was the rumor. This was the era like where guides existed as well, but a lot of information was sort of come at as a community, so you weren't ever 100% sure of its truthfulness. But yeah, I used to do runs for that because there was a chance of dropping certain rings, or doing Mephisto runs because it was an easy to finish boss, or doing Baal runs to level up, not necessarily for drops. People never actually finished that boss; they would just do the runs of the minions on Baal's throne beforehand, as a way of getting a decent amount of level ups, because a lot of minions were there, and you'd run it as a group. And then I played it a few years later, and I found out the quickest way of leveling up was actually one process of doing leveling up was running. Is it like the pyramids or the temples on the Act 2? And that's like was different from when I played it. But it's like it was my first experience of online stuff with like meta shifts and communities making different choices and things like that. I find it really interesting, actually, with Path of Exile, that one of the things that they thought key to that experience was currency not being, generic gold, but currency in like Diablo 2 was always items. It was always, not always, but it was usually Sodges, Stone of Jordans. That was a common currency. All the runes from the end of the game because they were like valuable, and they've actually seemed to have kept that in. Like you contact people in game from an external site to see what they're selling, and in Path of Exile, and you have to use Chaos Orbs, I think it is, as like the common currency. So I find it interesting the things that they've chosen to carry across aren't necessarily they are things that would be streamlined by more mainstream design these days and just ignored, but they are also the thing that in my mind did make Diablo 2 special. Now, I have to say with Path of Exile, all this knowledge is coming from watching 2 videos last night and playing 3 hours. So, like, the actual experience of playing itself might be different and might end up in a different place. But, like, from an initial pass... Oh, Dead Adventurer. Is that valuable? 35. No, we don't do spears, so we'll take your gold. Pro block pick, because they're light. And the rest of your stuff we don't care too much about. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it. It seems like the way that they've added depth to that game is just having system after system after system in it. And I think it's definitely a valid way of doing depth, but the moment to moment initially seemed like it was going to be a little easy, but actually playing it, there seems to be something to it that's a little more complicated than I might have initially thought. Destroying. Oh, what have we got? Okay, it's only speed by 2 points. That's absolutely fine. Was that soul gem? They're usually light. So yeah, that's been my time recently, and I'm looking forward to spending some more time with Daedra. We've got all sorts in this dungeon. Dremora, isn't it? I'm looking forward to spending some more time with ARPGs. Oh, the other game I played. I was going to try and like spread what games I've been playing across a couple of episodes. But we've got a bit more time here. The other game I played is, what is it called? Shipbreaker something or other. It's on Steam right now. It's set in the world of Homeworld, games that I've never played but I am aware of. And you play a blue-collar worker whose whose job is to break apart discontinued spaceships, and you have to slowly deconstruct them using knowledge that you've gained over the game to do it safely, and sell their scrap on, because you're basically an indentured servant with not indentured servant, what do they call it? Debt slave. You know, they've basically said for the joy of doing this job, you have to owe us 1 billion credits. So before you're even earning money, you have to pay them back. So the game is sort of like this ripping apart of ships, but it's also like a pay back your debt simulator. It's a very, I've heard it described recently as a slow game, and I definitely think it fits that sort of description. I wonder what ability is causing us to stagger enemies, because it seems to be happening more frequently. But I played about 10 hours of it, and it's early access, so I think I'm going to stop playing it. But I think I'm going to also do a video because, like, I had a very fun experience doing sort of a first day at work. Because the most interesting thing that it did for me was it told you the basics, but it didn't actually tell you the things that would make you good at the skill. It didn't tell you all the essentials. It just told you like the actual basics of what you need to be doing. I'm getting diseased here. And that actually is quite interesting because the corpus meat, ugh, the what the effect of that was is I blew myself up, and like I get given new challenges, and it really feels like a first day on a job with a boss. I need to beat that out, don't I? With a crap boss. Sorry, I'm just leaving a bit of a pause because I might mean I'll check it out and edit there. I probably won't. I'll forget. Cortec Point. This is maybe where we need to be. Oh, what's attacking me? Down. There we go. Have we just come out the front door that we went in? Yes, somehow we have. Whilst we're here, I think that's a nice one. I don't quite know how we lost our way around there. I think we followed the left all the way around the outside and not gone through the middle. And I assume that's maybe where the guy we've got to be killing is. But yeah, so it makes you feel like you're on your first day at work without all the proper training and that it's a health and safety hazard. And these are definitely experiences I've felt like I've had in a workplace. You know, some more than others. Oh, master. I mean, that's worth 5,000. Oh, no, I want to keep my ebony mace. I'm taking it simply because I have got more weight these days from leveling up strength. So this isn't the place I need to be. Yeah, so it's just cool that the game simulated that. Rolling in the money with all these ebony spears that the enemies are dropping. Oh, sorry about that noise. I might not be able to edit that out. This seems like the place we want to be. Talking about shipbreakers made me want to go and play it now when I just said I won't. Like, the reason being is it seems like it has quite a slow progression curve. That would be a perfect downtime game, by the way. Just like go and break apart a couple of ships or a ship in half an hour at the end of the day. It would be perfect with a podcast on. Perfect relaxation. Can we get the other one or not? Have we messed ourselves up here? No, we haven't. Yeah, because like it's kind of half mindless, but it's half mindless when you aren't on a new ship. But as soon as you get a new ship, it's like, right, I actually need to engage with this. But because the progression seems relatively slow on it, now we need to go. What? Didn't we beat that? I'm getting a little confused by this dungeon layout. Let's go to the local. Yeah, so we've not gone all the way up there, but we have explored the other sides. So let's go up here. What was I talking about? Yeah, you actually have to engage with your mind when you are doing a larger new ship. Oh yeah, slow progression. Yeah, due to the slow progression, I actually want to wait for the game to fully be out so that I can like go through that entire progression myself. I've also been thinking about some channel things because obviously we've got the Morrowind Let's Play, and then I've got the Thoughts on Games, which is a swiftly badly named thing that wasn't particularly well thought out. And I think I'm going to change the playlist around a bit and have one be sort of a list of games that we are playing, sort of game by game or something. So like that'll be the Dishonored and Dishonored 2 and Prey coming up, and have all those be linked together by me. So whatever my thought process is linking them together. But then have, because I've got the Tarkov Outer Wilds video as well, and have that in a separate playlist, like a digressions playlist, that's more focused on sort of weird little side projects that are one-offs. And I think that could work quite well, actually. So I think I am going to do that and get that set up. We are just going around in circles here. This is definitely a new area, so I think we are in the right place. But I think the other thing I was wondering if he's a stronger enemy than I anticipated. The other thing I think I'm going to do as well is, so we've got a bit of a Let's Play variety. I think I'm going to start a Let's Play of Fallout 3, specifically. That's going to be released on Friday. I actually want to do a full exploration of the series and do like Fallout Fridays, but before I'm kind of comfortable playing any of the other games in the series, or any earlier games than 3, I'd need to do a bit of research and get used to them, and I don't want to be taking too much on now, whereas I'd feel very comfortable just playing through Fallout 3 and like going through my memories of what that game was and what it actually is and how it holds up to the modern day. And I think actually, even though they're very similar games to what we're playing right now, it doesn't make sense to do it it doesn't make sense to do it like after. So my thought process with this was to be doing Morrowind, and then Oblivion, and then maybe do Fallout, and then maybe Skyrim. But actually, I think the way I want to go with it is doing Fallout and then alongside, because there's probably things that we can like cross-reference and just play through the games as they come. But I think the other idea as well is have those videos be a touch longer, do them on Friday and do them an hour each. And I think it would be, I kind of want to play some Fallout is the other side of it. It's often the motivation for me doing videos. The whole reason behind this series is I knew I'd never get around to playing Morrowind in my own time. So if I do videos for it, I'm forced to do it. So self-manipulation into doing things that I know that I'll enjoy, but may not immediately want to do. Come on, this has got to be it. Oh, that's a horrible thing. Oh no. Hey mate, are you okay? Lame corpus. Corpus. So it must be a high level. I feel like we're getting through this dungeon. 109. Oh, hello. You hiding in that corner. Killed him. Killed him dead. I'm kind of half putting cuts in here because I know I have a funny feeling that we're not far away from the boss, so and I want to end the episode on killing him. But if it has to be that we oh, we've leveled up as well. All right, 1 second. That's our levels for today. But yeah, I want to try and end on killing the boss, so we'll see if we can manage that. See if there's enough time. I don't know if this is the best weapon for what we're doing here, but I'm going to use it and hope for the best. Oh, we're being talked to from around the corner. The sixth house greets you, Lord Nerevar, or Marabou, as you call yourself. I am known as Dagoth Geras, priest of the I'm so bad with names sometimes. Ilunibi Shrine, and minister to six house servants. My lord Dagoth has informed me of your coming. I wish that this time you had come to honour your lord's friendship, not to betray it. The sixth house was not dead, but only sleeping. Now it wakes from its long dream, and with its lord, Dagoth, it comes forth to free Morrowind of foreign rulers and divide pretenders. When the land is swept clean of false friends and greedy thieves, the children of Veloth will build anew a garden of plenty in this blighted wasteland. Lord Dagoth gives me these words to say to you, so you may give them thought. Once we were friends and brothers, Lord Nerevar, in peace and in war, yet beneath Red Mountain you struck me down as I guarded the treasure you bound me by oath to defend. But remembering our old friendship, I would forgive you and raise you high in my service. My Lord Dagoth bids you to come to the Red Mountain for the friendship and honour that you once shared. He would grant you counsel and power, if only you would pledge that friendship anew. I am not your Lord Dagoth yet. I too would say to you, do you come with weapons to strike me down, or would you put away your weapon and join me in friendship? I've just read that. Ilunibi Shrine is just a small, quiet retreat for 6th House servants, a place to contemplate and grow strong and wise in the Lord Dagoth's ways. Here we share the sacraments of flesh and blood and dream the dreams of our Lord. This and other lesser shrines are hidden from prying eyes throughout the land, but the greatest shrine of the 6th House servants lie beneath Red Mountain in the citadels of our Lord and his close kin. Forgive the rude welcome, but until you have declared for us, we must treat you as our enemy. The sleepers and dreamers are newly come to Lord Dagoth and not yet blessed with his power, but the children of his flesh, they are deep in the heart of his mysteries. Their bodies swell to contain his glory and to yield the rich sacraments of our Lord's feasts, and we are at least his servants, for ash poets, ascended sleepers, and ash vampires stand high above us in the Lord's bountiful grace. Lord Dagoth would rather have you as a friend than as an enemy, but until you submit to him, 6 House servants will treat you as an enemy and will try to destroy you. If you wish to be our friend, first you must go to Lord Dagoth in his citadel in the Red Mountain and make your submission. I think the only thing I'd say about this is, I think the way that they've tried to square away the fact that they want you to have combat here is by saying, we must treat you as an enemy until you are proven our friend. Which seems a little odd, but I really want to know what this Dagoth stands for, because it's like an interesting aspect of this game, definitely. Right, what do we do? Because we're past time here, but there's an interesting thing happening. Do you know what? Oh, what was that? I didn't read that. Oh, we're gonna have to find out, aren't we? So here we go. I'm going to beat him again. With his dying breath, Dagoth Ger smiles and curses you. Even as my master wills, you shall come to him, in his flesh and of his flesh. Cool. I'm glad we saw that, even though I'm not exactly sure what it is. Lord Nerevar in Indoril. Hi, Resdina, my lord, friend and companion. Once we were friends and brothers, Lord Nerevar, in peace and in war. My house ever served you, better or more faithfully. Much that I did was in your command, at a great cost to myself and my honour. Yet beneath Red Mountain you struck me down as I guarded the treasure you bound me by oath. This is most of what we've read, isn't it? We will definitely take that, though. And we'll take your amulet, and we'll get rid of your corpse. Right, I'm just going to quickly have a run around here, see if there's anything of use. Oh, very nice. Glass boots. They should be better than what we're wearing. 53? 88. Oh, don't we look fancy with our odd armour. Better weapon? No. No, okay. Right, let me just have a look down this other side. Nothing. Right. Okay, brilliant. We can finish there then. Thank you for watching. My name's been Billy, and I appreciate it. If you could write a comment if you have anything to say, drop a like if you like the video, and subscribe if you want more of this sort of content. It all really helps, so it'll help push me forward and do the things that we need to do. But for now, again, thank you for watching and goodbye.